50 Cent claims Jay-Z is the first target once Diddy is out. The allegation? Jay-Z allegedly positioned Diddy to take the hit, then quietly erased his own fingerprints. Despite being a regular at Diddy's parties and even getting named in multiple lawsuits, Jay-Z never appeared in court, and somehow the accusers backed off. No testimony, no fallout, just silence. So, the question hits hard. Was Jay-Z just nearby, or was he pulling the strings behind Diddy's collapse?
That the same concept with the Super Bowl. See, they don't understand the relationship. They was trying to get him to do the Super Bowl without me.
Wasn't happening.
And that's not it. It wouldn't happen.
No way.
You see what I'm saying? Because he would look and go, it's okay for them, the award shows, not to give me the trophies. If you look at even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just keep.
His feud with Jay and Puffy goes back to the 90 seconds, sparked when he clowned Jay-Z on Time's How to Rob Times and labeled him fake. From 50's point of view, Jay was never about confrontation, only control. Instead of responding head-on, Jay allegedly leaned on industry power plays, freezing artists out, twisting connections, and moving chess pieces behind the scenes. At one point, Jay supposedly had his entire camp drop albums alongside 50, just to choke his momentum and sabotage his numbers. And in 50's narrative, that's the real story. Jay and Diddy didn't reach billionaire status off average records alone. They climbed by stepping on competition and making sure no one else could rise with them.
You know, I remember one time walking in the studio, Bleak Beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now, just flood it, put out a lot of music, because 50 Cent is coming. And, you know, 4 months later, in the club hit and it was over, and it was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tidal wave out.
There's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records sold 5 million. You let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there, because America can be purchased. You can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, there's not enough marketing dollars to go around.
That's why I made a statement about Taylor Swift. I wish you would come take one of my awards so I could black his eye in front of everybody. And Jay disagrees.
I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
Does that bother you? Does it bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's just his choice.
Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z?
The public is responding to his punk presentation. It's not 50 Cent. I don't have a problem with him. Kanye would not take a trophy from me. Neither Jay-Z.
Right.
Neither one of them.
What would you have?
No, we'd have had altercation.
He clocked the play early. He watched Jay and Diddy try to smother Nas by flooding the market and burying his release. The same dudes preaching empowerment and unity were allegedly doing everything possible to block anyone else from winning. That hypocrisy never fooled 50 for a second. To him, the pattern was obvious. Any artist with real momentum instantly became a target. Jay and Diddy, by his account, went at anyone who dared to rise without their approval. If you weren't riding the Puffy J wave, the industry would chew you up. Lord Jamar echoed that sentiment, claiming there was an untouchable inner circle running hip-hop. Labels moving as one, doors quietly closing if the elite didn't want you up. Your career was finished before it ever started.
Couldn't be bigger than Jay-Z. You couldn't sell more records than Jay-Z. But all you had to do was listen to Benny Siegel, and Benny Siegel was, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, he said that. That was the first of me actually hearing that. Like, oh shit. Like, I used to have questions like, why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top of me. He wouldn't let me breathe or right before me. Like, I was always close, and I'm always thought like, damn, if a kid, back then it was physical copies. So if you had $20, $20 that you saved up and you was going to buy an album and it's under the same house, Rockefeller, between Jay and Beanie Siegel, you won't, 9 times out of 10, you won't buy the Jay-Z album. I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on time. And it was like, damn, like to have in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but I always thought that, like, let me breathe. But to maliciously plot to hold me back, I don't know, man. I don't believe that. I don't want to believe that. I mean, but like I said, Dame was no better than me.
From the jump, Jay was moving like a gatekeeper. Instead of expanding opportunities for black artists, he allegedly worked to cut off the ones they already had. Case in point, he reportedly tried to block 50 from hitting the Super Bowl stage. If Eminem hadn't stepped in, 50 would have been shut out completely. M drew the line with the NFL, telling executives there was no performance without 50. That pressure flipped the script and exposed how far Jay was willing to go to keep control.
The big homie Jay-Z, right? I said to my nephew, I said, yo, listen, I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, and I'm sorry for anybody who don't understand. And he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
Now, that was beautiful.
And guess who's Dre's guy?
Your guy.
Me.
Let's make him know.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know,
true.
he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy going on. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay. So I think people are just going to say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you got to remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl?
Know that? Yeah, he didn't want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some haters. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted them there. I don't know
because of what some of the.
I mean, you know, it's competition. You got to think 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1 with the 50 Cent.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was what 9. What was that? 9?
But after that, they did a song together. Remember the whole
50 was always competition. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after this. He came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came. And people might get on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the effect that we.
Jay-Z and Diddy came up from the same blueprint and have been locked in since the 90 seconds. Yet when Diddy needed cover, Jay stayed hands off. Some reports even suggest he helped light the fuse. Think about it. CNN allegedly sat on the Cassie assault footage for 8 years before dropping it. Who told them to keep it buried that long? And why did everything suddenly explode all at once? The rollout feels calculated. The timing is too clean, too convenient to just be random.
Who was kind of like, we're done with this guy. You're not back. You're threatened to say this. Release the footage, right? So they released the footage. He comes out, issues an apology. While his lawyers accuse the government of leaking the tape, it was later admitted as evidence in his trial. Again, January deal. March is raiding his house, Miami in LA. May, here's a video being dropped from CNN, even though they've been sitting on it for 8 years. September 2024, book is released, Kim's Lost Words, which, by the way, there's a lot of speculation with this thing here. So whatever I'm reading is not necessarily 100%. It is there. It is not there. The alias they use on who wrote the book is Shanti Millwood, which is an alias for Tupac, which is kind of weird. Why would you use that? This book appeared on Amazon, allegedly written by Kim Porter, accused Diddy of misconduct with minors. Porter's children denounced it as fake. Investigators revealed the real author was Chris Todd, who claimed he compiled the book from a mysterious flash drive.
Everyone inside the industry knows that Diddy was set up and...
Inside the industry, the word is Diddy was marked. One moment he's untouchable, celebrated, honored, handed keys to cities. The next, he's in cuffs, career scorched, $700 million gone overnight. That kind of collapse doesn't just happen by accident. It looks planned, surgical, and ruthless, like someone decided it was time to pull the plug and made sure everything hit at once.
Surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all, or you're like, you have no idea, it's none of my business, you'll live longer? Kind of like the mindset.
Surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? You know, hip hop is the Wild West, so you're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
50 already knew who was coming for Diddy, and he didn't hide it. He openly mocked the situation, making it clear he believed Jay-Z was the one applying pressure from the shadows. To 50, it wasn't shocking or tragic, just predictable. Another power move exposed. Another punchline for someone who saw the setup coming miles away.
Lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
Right. To us, Black excellence, right?
that had to be there.
We getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch. You're like,
I hate you, man.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Yeah. Come on, bro.
You don't need to be a genius to see how deep Jay's grip runs. To 50, Jay-Z has always been a businessman. First, every move calculated, every relationship strategic, everything about money and leverage. Even his marriage to Beyonce gets framed that way. 50 straight up calls it a contract. Look at the optics. After marrying Beyonce, Jay racks up 16 Grammys. Before that, just one. Now even their kids have trophies and they haven't dropped a verse yet. Coincidence? Or just another example of how power moves differently when you control the board?
He signed his contract. The big one was with Beyonce. Mm-hmm. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. No, those trophies, the trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. At the same time. He got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like he thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
Absolutely, you've been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Are you so on top of the business side of Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying? Some people like to just be an artist.
Yeah, I was actually forced to be an artist and a businessman because when I tried to get a deal, I couldn't get a deal, so I had to create Rockefeller Records. We actually created Rockefeller Records from nothing. And, so I was forced to know both sides of the business.
What really shocks people is how Jay has never done real time, despite years of rumors and accusations swirling around him. In 50's view, Jay was accused of the same kind of behavior and worse, but the difference was restraint. Unlike Diddy, Jay never went on camera talking too freely or leaving a trail of soundbites behind. And these suspicions didn't start with Diddy. Critics often point back to December 1999, when Jay-Z was accused of stabbing music executive Lance Rivera at a New York nightclub. The case became a headline moment, then quietly faded. To his detractors, it's just another example of how controversy follows Jay, but consequences never seem to catch him.
A top rap star is busted.
Jay-Z turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults. You know, I'm not a perfect.
Diddy had his own brush with violence back in the day, another high-profile case that ended without a conviction, just like Jay's. Fast forward to now, and the contrast is wild. Diddy's facing prison time while Jay suddenly acts like he was never close to any of it, like he was just some outsider looking in. Critics call that impossible to believe. You're talking about two of the most powerful figures in hip-hop, billionaire partners who ran side by side for over 30 years, and somehow Jay never knew what was happening? That's the story we're supposed to accept. 50 doesn't buy it. He said he met Diddy once and instantly understood what kind of energy he was dealing with. To him, it didn't take decades, insider access, or billions, just one encounter to read the room.
Haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
Oh, that's why. It's only business. It was really... Away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him. Right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. Exactly. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards. Or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. Now, like, and when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, I spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable.
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he's gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the, but he won't you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names.
None of this was ever hidden. Inside the industry, it was common knowledge. People like Jaguar Wright and Gene Deal, who actually worked around Jay and Diddy, have been saying the same things for years. The stories were out there. The warnings were loud. The problem was never lack of information, it was lack of interest. Nobody cared. As long as the checks kept clearing and the machine kept printing money, the executives looked the other way. Victims didn't matter. Profit did.
Jaguar has been warning us about Jay-Z. Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me.
I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Piers Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows.
Rihanna was trafficked to Def Jam.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look at her now.
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in Def Jam history.
Diddy isn't going out quietly, and he's not letting Jay erase him. Word is, he's gearing up to strike back. TMZ reports that White House officials are discussing a possible pardon, and sources claim it could come as soon as next week. The rumors have been floating for a while, but now they're said to be moving toward the finish line. If it happens, it flips the entire script and turns this from a takedown into a war.